Hi guys, welcome back to New England Fire Cooking. I'm Aaron Higgins, and today what we're going to get into is a Super Bowl recipe. We're closing in on the Super Bowl here in the next few weeks, so what I'm going to try to do is bring you guys some recipes that you can cook on game day and have a really good time with your friends. But before I get too far ahead of myself here, I just want to congratulate a good buddy of mine, Alan Centazzo. He was recently given the Patriots Fan of the Year award. He was nominated by Robert Kraft himself. And I know he's really pumped about it. And he's really one of the biggest supporters of this channel. So I really want to say a big congratulations to him. And so today, what I'm going to do is we're going to cook something that I'm going to call Big Alan's Barbecue Chicken Sandwich. And this is for Alan Centazzo. Hopefully he cooks it on Super Bowl. But if he doesn't, that's okay. What we're going to do here is I have 3 boneless, skinless chicken thighs. And what I did last night, was I put it in a brine. I just made a simple brine. All you need is water, brown sugar, and then I use some of this stuff. And this is called Dirty Dick's Hot Sauce. It's made in Vermont, and it's a really unique, hot sauce. Essentially, it's got habanero peppers, mangoes, pineapple, vinegar, bananas. Just reminds you of summertime, and it has a really good fruity, sweet flavor with a ton of heat as a good kicker. So I use that as part of this brine. And if you're doing a large quantity of these, okay, you can use like a half gallon of water, to a half cup of sugar, the salt, and all that sort of thing. But all I did was I just kind of ballparked it. I did about 2.5 cups of water, maybe 3 cups of water. Like I said, I ballparked all this, and then I did about a heaping tablespoon of brown sugar and a heaping tablespoon or a tablespoon and a half of this hot sauce. And I just poured it right over the chicken, put it in this plastic bag, and let it sit overnight. So what I want to do is I'm going to drain this, and then after that, we're going to get this seasoned. And then when the seasoning's setting up, I'm going to go fire up the grill. Stick around. Okay guys, so once you strain your chicken out of the brine, you want to rinse it off and pat it dry with some paper towels, and I just threw it right into this big bowl right here. And what I'm going to do, and you've seen me do this before in some of these other videos, is I'm going to throw some yellow mustard on this, and this is going to provide something for our rub to stick to. You've seen me do this on ribs, you've seen me do it on pork butt, and the principle is exactly the same. So you just want to get a good coat of yellow mustard. So you got a nice coat of yellow mustard, and you just want to move all of this around. You want to move all of it around. You want to get a good coating. It doesn't have to be super heavy or anything, but you just want to get a decent coating of yellow mustard all over your chicken thighs. Okay, so once you got a nice coating of mustard on your chicken thighs, you want to season this. You want to get a good coating of rub on this because this is going to be barbecue. We're using Killer Hogs hot barbecue rub. This stuff is by far the best barbecue rub to use if you want a little kick of heat on your food. Okay, so what I want to do here is I want to spare no rub. I really want to go right over this. Try not to spill some on the floor like I just did. And flip these bad boys over. Same thing. Solid coat of rub. If any of your chicken's overlapping, make sure that you open that up, getting all the nooks, crannies, crevasses, whatever. That's looking pretty good to me. So now that I have this chicken seasoned, what I'm going to do is I'm going to let it hang out for a little while. I'm going to go fire up the grill. Today we're going to be cooking on the char griller offset smoker using some hickory sticks, and it's going to give us some really good flavor. It's going to take about 3 hours altogether. Stick around. Okay guys, so we got a nice start to these coals here. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to throw this hickory stick on. And then we're gonna get our grill up to temp. And we want 275, and once we're there, we'll throw this chicken on and we'll get this process rolling. Okay guys, so as you can see, we're right around 275. We're closing right in on it anyway. It's time to get this chicken on. Okay guys, so grill's up to temp. I got our chicken thighs, they're nice and seasoned. Sitting on this rack right here, and the reason I'm using the rack is because it's a lot easier to move back and forth from the grill. What I'm going to do is I'm going to open this bad boy up. I'm going to set it right in the center, close it up, and we're going to check on it in an hour. Stick around. Okay guys, this chicken's looking really, really good. It's been on for about an hour and 15 minutes, and this is exactly where I want it. The rub is sticking right to the meat. It won't come off when you touch it or when you smear it with your finger, and that's exactly what you want. It's got that really nice, deep red, almost like a redwood type of color, and that's exactly how I want this to look. So we're gonna pull this off, and we're gonna get it wrapped, and we're gonna get it tender. Okay guys, so we just pulled this chicken off the grill. It's looking awesome. The rub is completely sticking to the meat. We're in really good shape. Smells really good, and you could probably eat this right now, but it's not quite where I want it. So what I have here is I have this little pie pan, and just because we have 3 of these breasts, I'm not using a huge pan. We don't need something that big. What I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna layer this. Take this big one, throw it right at the very bottom. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna layer this chicken right into this pan. And then this is what I call crap ass beer. This is just a real cheap, I mean, you could buy it for like $5 a 6-pack. But this is Keystone Light. You can use whatever you want. You can use a PBR or a Natty or some junk like that. But the reason we're using this is because it will give it flavor, but not too much flavor. You don't want to use like a Sam Adams Boston Lager or some kind of IPA. Definitely don't use an IPA. You want to use a cheap, light, fizzy beer that's going to impart a little bit of flavor, but most of all, what you want is you want moisture. You want the stuff to steam, and this is what's going to make it tender. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pour a little bit of beer, and what we're going to do afterwards is we're going to take this aluminum foil, and we're just going to wrap this aluminum pan. And what we're going to do, now that it's wrapped, is we're gonna get it right back on the grill. Then we're gonna let it run for another 45 minutes to an hour. The steam that this generates is gonna get these chicken thighs perfectly tender, which is what we want, because we're gonna pull these, we're gonna make some killer barbecue chicken sandwiches. Stick around. Okay guys, so here I am. I kind of got a little bit ahead of myself. I started pulling this before the camera woman was ready to roll. But anyway, she yelled at me, and here I am. So we're just pulling these chicken thighs apart, and they're coming apart really, really nicely. They're just pulling apart awesome. Perfectly cooked. They smell great. You really just can't go wrong with these here. I got this piece in my hand here. I'm gonna give this a whirl. I could eat this whole pile right now, but I won't, because it's gonna make some really, really good sandwiches. And like I said, guys, these thighs, the reason I use thighs and not something like breasts is because breasts have a tendency to dry out. Unless you really brine the hell out of them and inject them, they dry out on smoke. The thighs like this are very, very forgiving. You can pull them apart. They've got a lot of fat in them. I mean, come on. You can't get any better than that. That, and they're cheap. They're really, really cheap. You're not spending a lot of money doing this. Okay guys, so now that I have this nice pile of chicken here, what I did was I made some sauce, and I took the Killer Hogs barbecue sauce. It's their regular sweet sauce, and some of this Dirty Dick's. And basically what I did was I took about, 3/4 of a cup of the barbecue sauce and a couple tablespoons of the hot sauce. And I just warmed it up in the microwave. You don't need to bring it to a boil. You don't need to, heat it up like crazy. You just want to heat it up enough so where it's not cold and you're not going to cool your chicken down. Okay, and you want to mix it together, and you want to get a nice blend. You can use whatever barbecue sauce you want. If you don't want the heat, or you want to use something like a Jack Daniels or a Stubbs or a Sweet Baby Ray's, feel free to use whatever sauce you want. But what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to pour this right over the top of this meat. Okay, well, it's right on the board here, and I'm just going to work it all together. What I want a nice, even coating of barbecue sauce all over this chicken. And this is what's going to make this sandwich magic. That's exactly what you want right there. That looks beautiful. That looks absolutely awesome. You can't go wrong with a pile of chicken thighs like this. I mean, come on, look at that. You just pull it apart. You mix it all together. And you're talking about a really good time right here. This is a great game day food. Okay guys, so we got our toasted buns. I just used bulky rolls. You could use whatever bread you want for these, but there's no way that these are gonna be bad. So what I have here is I have a pile of this chicken. I've got my toasted buns. I've got some bread and butter pickles, and then I have a bowl of coleslaw, and this is gonna be awesome. But before I get right into this, let's do a quick run through of what we did. What we did was we got some boneless, skinless chicken thighs, and we basically threw them in a brine. And you can use water, brown sugar, and hot sauce. That's what I use. You can look up any brine you'd like on the internet. Use whatever you want. Let it sit overnight. It works awesome. Then I hit it with some mustard after I got it nice and dry. And then some Killer Hogs hot barbecue rub. Solid dose of that. You don't want to skimp on that rub. Then I put it on the offset smoker. We ran it over some hickory smoke for an hour at 275. And then after that, what I did was I pulled it off and I threw it in an aluminum pan. And I threw a little bit of Keystone Light, or some crap ass beer as I call it. You know, Keystone Light, Natty, PBR, you know, any kind of, you know, high carbonation, you know, not a really strong beer. You don't want to use a stout. You don't want to use an IPA. Whatever you do, definitely don't use an IPA. And then we covered it and we got it back on the smoker at 275 for about another hour and 20 minutes or so, depending on how cold it is outside, how hot you're running your pit, so on and so on. I try to stick right around 275. And then afterwards, what we did was we pulled it off, we got it right on this board, we ripped it all apart, and then we made up a sauce, smothered the sauce all in the chicken, worked it all together, and now we're ready to make some sandwiches. And what I have here is I have some bread and butter pickle slices, and I just have some coleslaw that I got from the grocery store. Now, you can make coleslaw if you like. It's really easy to make. There's 1,000,001 recipes online. By all means, if you don't want to buy from the grocery store and you want to do your own thing, do your own thing. There's no way this is going to be bad. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to come right in and I'm just going to grab a solid helping of chicken. You know, and I want to pile this right up. We're going to make these some serious football game day sandwiches. And you can make this for whatever game day you'd like, or race day, especially, you know, Daytona's coming up next month. You know, make yourself a nice barbecue chicken sandwich. You're not going to go wrong. Let's stack these right up nice. Then what we're going to do is we're going to come over, we're going to get some coleslaw. Top this with some coleslaw. You can't go wrong. Then obviously we got our pickle chips, our bread and butter pickles. And this is just gonna make for an absolutely great barbecue chicken sandwich. I haven't had one of these in a while. And there we go, right there. That right there. That right there is a barbecue chicken sandwich. Applause. Okay guys, so now is the moment of truth. I'm gonna dive right into this, but before I do, I just once again want to give a huge shout out to one of the big supporters of this channel, Alan Centazzo. He was voted New England Patriots Fan of the Year. This right here is what I call Big Alan's barbecue chicken sandwich. This is Alan's recipe. Thank you so much for hanging out with us and giving us your support, Alan. This has been great. And hope you get to try this sometime. Next time you're home, make sure to cook it. Just send me a message and I'll make sure it's on the grill, hot and ready for you to eat. So without further ado, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna dive right into this here. Coleslaw, pickles, barbecue chicken. Ah! Oh man. Here's a messy one, but you know what? Look at that. That is absolutely awesome, guys. The camera woman, aka my wife, is telling me that there's stuff in this, but you know what? I'll save that for later. That's fine. This is awesome. This is really, really good. It's juicy, it's tender, you got great flavor, you got great heat, you got awesome tanginess coming out of this coleslaw. The pickles, The pickles, believe it or not, are really coming through in this. This is really, really good. But the heat from this sauce, perfect amount of heat. I mean, perfect. This is a winner. This is a total winner. Crispy toasted bun. Awesome barbecue chicken. This is a game day go-to for anything, you know. You got the NBA Finals, you got the Stanley Cup, whatever. This is something that I can eat every day of the week. This is absolutely awesome. You cannot go wrong. I mean, look at that. Look at that. Look at that and tell me that you would not eat this. Are you kidding me? This is what we call in New England wicked freaking good. Dropping some tender victuals here. Can't let that go to waste. But hey guys, before I get carried away, let me swallow this last little bit of whatnot. And now I'm gonna clean myself off here. Listen, if you really like what you see here, you like what we're doing, you wanna see more of this, give our channel a subscribe, okay? Give us a like and share. Check us out on Instagram. Check us out on Facebook. Putting out new recipes all the time. We'd love to hear from you guys. You have any suggestions, any comment, leave them in the comment section. If you have any ideas, something you might want to see us try out on this channel, give us a shout. Let us know what you think. You know, let us know what you'd like to see. We'd love to hear from you. Thanks for hanging out with us. We'll see you next time.